The former leader's body has been driven through the streets of Pyongyang in front of a crowd of tens of thousands. Tomorrow there's expected to be a 3-minute silence, followed by trains, cars and ships sounding their horns ahead of a national memorial service. The ABC's China correspondent Stephen McDonald says the funeral is also expected to be used to cement the succession of the new leader, Kim Jong-il, who's been labelled the great successor.
So this funeral is seen as a way of him showing his authority, especially in front of, images of thousands of soldiers in front of the mausoleum for his grandfather and his father. There he is. What a huge crowd of soldiers that is there. And, I suppose, as you say, you would have expected something along these lines from North Korea, to send off Kim Jong-il.
And certainly thousands, I would imagine tens of thousands of people actually standing there on the streets of the snowy capital, Pyongyang, to pay their last respects. Stephen McDonald, over the past 10 days, we've seen countless pictures coming out of North Korea of people wailing and weeping. It's always difficult to know with such a reclusive state about whether they're genuinely upset at the death of Kim Jong-il or they're simply behaving as what they think is expected of them.
Well, it is kind of customary for Koreans to show it when you're at a funeral, as it is with many cultures, but they do lay it on pretty thick in North Korea. And last week we were speaking to some dissidents from North Korea in the south of the country, in the south of the peninsula in South Korea, who were saying that really you can't afford not to be showing yourself as desperately crying because you don't know who's going to be watching you. It's a pretty paranoid country and everybody's being spied on at the best of times. And so you really can't afford to be not wailing quite enough. And that's why it's sort of laid on pretty thick.